Hi, my name is Christy. I'm a career counselor here at DTU and I'm here to talk about cover letter writing. This crash course is not a quick fix, but hopefully you get some new ideas and tools how to write some awesome cover letters. So if you want to learn about what is the difference between solicited and unsolicited cover letters, what companies really look for in cover letters, what mistakes you want to avoid in your cover letters and what to do instead, then please stay with me for a short motivational spark. So, solicited and unsolicited cover letter, what is the difference? Basically, they are the same. They have the same structure, they have the same content, same rules count, namely the cover letter has to show the match between you and the company's needs. For unsolicited cover letter, that means that you actually need to gather relevant information about their needs before you can write about the match. So basically it requires that you are more proactive if you want to write a good unsolicited cover letter. And by proactive here, I mean that you have to take initiative, both when you contact the companies to hear about the current needs, but also when you follow up on your cover letter with a phone call instead of just waiting for them to contact you. Email is not a favorable way of contacting the company as it can easily be ignored or forgotten, and you are not really in control of the situation, as suddenly you can become unsure of how to manage the situation if another week has passed and you still haven't heard back from the company. Call to the company. When you call to the company, you want to find out the practical things first. Do they at all accept unsolicited applications? Do they hire international students or non-Danish speaking students or candidates if you are international? And first, after that, you can ask the three important questions, which are: what kind of technical skills are they in need of? What kind of personal skills are they looking for? And can they say anything about the possible tasks you can come to work with? So ideally, you have noted relevant keywords about needed technical skills, personal skills, and tasks. Here, important to remember also what is the goal with your phone call. And it's not to sell yourself yet, it's to gather relevant information about the company's needs. Basically, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, so make it short. If you're not going to do the work it requires to gather information about the company's needs, then you could end up sending hundreds of applications and the result would be this and this. So what do the companies really want? Maybe you think right now that she's a career counselor, she must know, but the fact is that companies have different needs at different times, and it's constantly changing. If you really want to know what the company's needs are here and now, then the best you could do is to call to the company you want to work for directly. We do know a little bit about what they generally are looking for in newly graduates. The companies that participated in a DTU graduate and employer survey back in 2016 highlighted the importance of these general skills listed here. So take a look at them. And they also highlighted these personal skills here. Keep these in mind when you find examples for your CVs and cover letters of your skills and how you develop them. But of course, it doesn't mean that it's enough. You still need to also find information about each individual company's specific needs if you want to write a good, specifically good unsolicited cover letter. What about the technical skills, you ask? Companies' feedback is that they expect you to naturally have the technical knowledge when you start in a company. But if you still struggle expressing the skills you've gained from your studies, then you can get inspiration from your course database, which you find on studieinformation.dtu.dk under individual programs and competence profiles. Now, let's take a look at the classical mistakes in a cover letter that you'd want to avoid. The cover letter is mostly written in past tense about what you have done before. This is already in your CV. So here it's important for me to quickly note that the difference between the CV and the cover letter is that the CV points backwards and demonstrates all the things that you have done so far, whereas cover letter points forward and explains what you can do in this company, in this very specific position that you're applying for. An old template is reused without adjustments. The tasks from the job ad are not mentioned. And it's not clear what you sell yourself with or what you believe your competencies are compared to the task to be sold. The company name is not mentioned in the first paragraph nor in the following sections. The document is too text-heavy with no clear paragraphs or defined topics. It fails to describe the motivation for why the candidate is applying for this position company. But what to do instead? Build your cover letter up with 3 main paragraphs. First paragraph, motivation. Why do you apply for exactly this position? Second paragraph, professional match paragraph, which is the longest paragraph in your cover letter and explains which of your technical engineering skills can you contribute with when solving specific tasks from the job ad. And personal match paragraph finally about what kind of colleague they get by hiring you, or what do you contribute with when working in teams, for example. Basically anything that demonstrates how would it be to work together with you or to have you in a team. To explain these paragraphs further, motivation paragraph. Write a personalized original motivation paragraph that signals that your letter is written only to them and cannot be sent to any other company. If you write, I have strong analytical skills, and you write only that, this is not really believable or convincing. But if you then add where you actually worked and how you worked with these analytical skills, how you gained them, then your statement becomes more convincing. Write several future tense sentences that focus on how you can or why you believe you can solve the tasks instead what you did in the past. And I have a few examples also here. For example, when working with a task from the job ad, I can also draw upon my experience from a project about fill out the gap. The skills in gained from would be my strength when solving a task from the job ad. Structure with clear paragraphs and informative headlines. We like headlines in your cover letter, not just the main headline, but also the headlines for your main messages, what you sell yourself with. It makes your cover letter easily readable and draws attention to the match between you and the candidate they are looking for. Choose your messages or selling points based on the analysis of the job ad before you start writing. It's not enough to just sell yourself with what you believe you are good at. The analysis of the job ad is actually the most important step in writing your CV and your cover letter. So to read more about how to analyze the job ad, you can check out page 16 in our career notebook. Mention company name often. For example, by hiring me, Novo Nordisk will get a colleague with an ability to, and so forth. At Rumble, I would be able to apply my skills in something. The student job position at Oticon has caught my interest with, continue yourself. Talk their language. Use the same words they have used in the job ads or on the web page. And I know many of you are afraid of copying the exact words from the job ad, as we are taught at school not to do so. But forget this rule when you write your CVs and cover letters. It's only dangerous to copy the words from the job ad if you're not able to document something that you promised the company with an example. I have some examples for you here. These examples are not necessarily the perfect examples. These are real examples from real students' cover letters, but it's just to show you how it can be done. I have a couple of headlines here. Take a moment to read them. Both headlines have keywords about the skills in the headlines. The first headline have personal skills written into the headline, structured and responsible, and the second one mentions professional or the technical skills, data collection, data analysis, and calculations. The first headline maybe is too short and the second one maybe a little too long, but the point is here that you have to include relevant keywords already in your headlines, and not just any keywords about your skills, but the keywords also should be matched to something from the job ad or the company's needs. So it's also here important to talk the company's language. I have an example of a motivational paragraph here. Take a moment to read that. Notice that the person starts writing the motivation paragraph explaining why this exact position has caught his interest. And this is a very good way of starting your motivation paragraph, because it keeps the company, the possible employer, interested and it's original. So they want to read something right away about why you are motivated or why you apply for this position. Then I have an example of a professional match paragraph. Take a moment. Here, I want you to notice the final sentence, the last sentence, which is written in future tense. And this is what you want to do in your cover letter often, because the focus will be then on how you can actually solve the tasks in the job. And companies love to read about that. Personal match paragraph. I really like this example here because it's a good example of how you can also use your personal life to demonstrate a match. In this case here, the personal skills are gained from sports. It makes the cover letter more credible and more personal. Don't be afraid of using examples also from your hobbies, sports, from your personal life to show a match or to show and demonstrate your personal skills. I know that you love examples, so if you need to see a CV and cover letter example, then please check out the examples before and after versions of CVs and cover letters in Piling, which you can read online, or you can also pick up the physical book lying around at DTU. Also, you find more tools to write your CVs and cover letters in DTU Career Notebook. which you also can download online on inside.dtu.dk, or you can come by and pick up the paper copy in the Career Center. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, then I hope to see you soon in the Career Center.